I go by DangitJM, or for most out there, y'all can also call me Jim. I like to do guides for the Soulsborne games, and occasionally have an opinion piece that I might get flack for. But I like to be a part of the Soulsborne community and sort of give back by offering like combining knowledge that's been found throughout the community and try to present it in a very easy to digest manner for many people to both learn from and take it with them, not only with the other Souls games, but maybe in other games, period. For the longest time, there had never been a in detail guide about how to make builds in Bloodborne. They were either not leveling Vitality, which now we see in Elden Ring, where you see people not leveling Vigor at all, or they put too many points into a stat they weren't going to use. Like one comment that I carry with me to this day was the comment from somebody who had like below 20 Vitality, and they had 50 Blood Tinge, but they were using a +6 threaded cane, and they said how it took them days to beat Gearman, to finally beat the game. And I looked at that comment and I wondered to myself, like, we gotta do something about this. That there has to be an online resource that people can look to that they can at least understand the game better. I was starting to get in a routine of like, well, I really like writing, script writing, video editing, voicing, and putting all of these guides together. I think I want to keep going with that. Suddenly it turned into, now I'm doing like the underrated series for Dark Souls 3. But now that we are talking about Covenants, it all started with putting on the Exile armor and realizing that a lot of helmets actually leave the scarf up, almost as if you're a wandering exile, as you would find in and around Stormvale. And then I started thinking, wait a minute, Stormvale, exiles, storm-related weapons, Ashes of War. Could I make a covenant out of this, which is the Tempest troop, aka the Stormtroopers? The only fashion prerequisite, like I said, the exile armor, I'll leave it down to the people who want to make a Tempest to find a combination of choice. You just got to make sure that the scarf is up. If the scarf goes down, that's a fashion violation, and I say no to that. The second prerequisite would be you would have to have Tempest in the name. The third parameter would be the actual arsenal that you have to choose from. Obviously, since we're a storm-related covenant, you use things like Stormblade, Stormcaller, Storm Assault, and Storm Stomp. And you can put that in a variety of generalized weapons. The only innate elemental damage I'm allowing is physical, or go lightning and frostbite for the type of damage that your weapons are doing. Also allowing other wind-related Ashes of War into the covenant, such as Vacuum Slice, Chilling Mist, and Lightning Slash for somber weaponry, Stormhawk Axe, the Veteran's Prosthesis. I'm allowing Zamor Curve Sword, the 2 dragon weaponry, the Dragon Halberd, and the Dragon Scale Blade, which is the katana. Additions to the arsenal would be, hey, if you're going to use bows, bring the Stormhawk arrows. If you're going to use a great bow, Golem Great Arrows. Otherwise, you can use other generalized Ashes of War, like if you wanted to kick somebody, I don't see why not. Also, Storm Shield. I have to make a Storm Shield apparent, or Storm Wall, excuse me. Something else I'll also say is that since Spirit Ashes are being allowed in the anniversary event in the arena, to stay with the Tempest theme going on with our Covenant, I'm also allowing 5 specific Spirit Ashes. That would be the Warhawk Ashes, Stormhawk Dean, Banished Knight Engval, and Banished Knight Oleg, and of course Nefeli. Not the Cragblade, not the Grand Sax, not those. Those are Dragon Cultists. related weaponry, and we have nothing to do with dragon cultists. I'm also hoping in the future that I could use this covenant more, like beyond the Elden Ring anniversary event. The Stormtroopers, the Tempest troop will evolve beyond just level 60. Maybe there will be different levels that the covenant operates in, one at 60 and then one at 100 whatever. I would be down for that, provided there's enough people to keep that going. But with that being said, if you wanted to find my content or other stuff where I might be invading on this build, I'll be on YouTube, where I hope to show off more of the build in more detail. I'll also be on Twitch if you wanted to catch it live. I'm also on Twitter for as long as that is gonna maintain itself. I not only want to get better and understand more about Elden Ring and other From Software games, like I know we're all eagerly awaiting Armored Core 6, for instance, but I also want to better articulate what these games actually do, what they do well and what they don't do well, and potentially make more guides for them, help other people along if they're having trouble. If they're having fun with the game but they don't really understand it, then I want to help be that bridge that brings them over to like really start enjoying what these games are all about. Because I find that the conversations and the connections that you can make, like in the gaming community, let alone the Souls community, can be largely fulfilling. Rest assured, like internet interactions are always going to be wild, but you gotta hold on to the enjoyable moments that you find when you meet some incredibly solid and great people along the way, from either streaming, from making content, or just even meeting people roaming around on PlayStation, on PC, and you get a message just because you helped them in a way, or because a co-invasion helped beat a really tough gank. And I cherish those moments. That makes these games that much more worthwhile. That makes the online aspect of Soulsborne games like that much more unique in comparison to anything else, in comparison to like the typical shooter or the typical fighting game or the typical battle royale. Elden Ring and the other Soulsborne games before it had something that no other games had really approached in a way, which was this mixture of action, RPG, and this like untapped social aspect where you don't talk to people through voice chat, but rather through your actions. Like your actions spoke a lot louder than words. Do you gesture? Do you L1 waggle with your weapon, or do you have like an unspoken rule between yourselves, like, oh hey, I'm an invader, but I see you're kind of struggling a little bit. How about I get you to the shortcut and then I kill you? It's something that it's this emergent gameplay that can only happen because it's the way that it is. But rest assured, these games are not at all balanced, and they have a lot of ironing out to do. But these games are also one of the few games to really make the environment that is as unique as you can get, compared to anything else out there. I think that's my spiel.
Wow. I don't think I've ever had anybody come that prepared before.
Oh yeah, I think if you two are familiar with my tangents,
yeah.
I can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote I looked at all your questions and I started writing everything down, and as soon as I got into a flow, I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna go down the list. I'm gonna go what feels right.
It was very well done. Technically, I wouldn't really have to edit that at all, except to come out to a 45-minute long interview, which I'm trying to keep these below 10 minutes.
Oh, well. Well, I gave you a lot to work with.
You gave me a lot to work with.
You can cut out what you see fit, because a lot of what I talked about is like.
I'll be frank. Saints interviews, Saint Riot, 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, so... you know what? I'm happy because that means I'm starting to be more concise. I'm starting to be more concise.
I-
If Saint was able to go for a lot longer, then I'm glad I was able to keep it as concise as I could, because Lord knows, if you wanted to have me talk for a lot, if you wanted me to
I'm
talk
fine with it.
for
I'm
another
fine with
hour,
it.
I bet I could find something. But
That's what I go to your streams for, dude. I just sit there and I listen to you talk.